All right, so here's the quick start guide for the Rycom. This one is for the Snaptrack. And so here's the bag, and we'll go ahead and open it up. What comes in the Rycom Snaptrack bag, it's probably the same for the Pathfinder and so forth, but here's what you get. Comes with a little manual. Comes with your receiver. This is your Snaptrack receiver. It comes with your transmitter. This one's a 10 watt. They also do make a 3 watt. That one's a 10 watt. It's got all the frequencies and all the functionality. It'll come with a ground rod. Okay, comes with a ground rod. Comes with a set of alligator clamps for direct connection. Okay, they're pretty long, just in case you have to get a ground somewhere that's not close enough to where you're going. You can purchase an induction clamp. I highly recommend this. This is a really critical tool. And then in our case, we have a charger because ours is a rechargeable. So you can see here, as well as under here, is where you can recharge it. All right, to get started with your transmitter, okay, power button. Right, that's all. It only has 3 buttons. It's pretty basic. You have a power button. You have an intensity button, and then you have a frequency button. And so when you start, you can press this frequency button, and it'll come up with something, and then you can roll through frequencies if you want here. Okay, if you want to increase the output, then you can just press this up in order to increase the output. And so what you're seeing here is this is where your frequency is. This is your output intensity, and this is showing what mode it's in. So for the mode, right now it's in induction because it's not, nothing's connected to it. If I connect something to it, like our alligator clamps, for example, okay, you've got to fit it in, push it in. Now that our alligator clamps are connected, you can see the symbol changes, and now it's showing me this sort of direct connect symbol. Okay, and so that's what you get. To set up the transmitter, you have to go into the menu. To go into the menu, you basically hold down the power button for a few seconds. Okay, so to go into the settings menu for the transmitter, you'll hold down the power button, and then you'll press the frequency button right here, and it'll bring up this screen. Okay, once it brings up this screen, you have to scroll until you get to the US, till it says US on it. So now it's saying battery, status, US. So you'll just press the frequency button while you're holding down power until it says US. Once you release power, it'll say Pro, and now you're actually in the menu. Now you can press frequency to scroll through different options. This is going to allow you to toggle through available frequencies, and then you can set your desired frequencies on here by holding the frequency button for 2 seconds. So for example, as I scroll through, you'll see all the frequencies that are available. Okay, now if I go through and I want to set my frequencies, I can set my frequencies down here on the bottom. So I'll start with 512. And so at 512, I'm going to hold down frequency for 2 seconds. And now that's going to be my first frequency. Okay, and it says 1. Now I'll toggle to the next one. The next frequency I want is going to be 1 kilohertz. So I'll hold down for 2 seconds the frequency button. And now that's my second frequency. Okay, next I want 4 kilohertz. I'll hold down for a few seconds. That's my third one. And I'll do this all the way through. I'll take 8 kilohertz. I'll take 33 kilohertz. I'll take 82 kilohertz. I'll take 131. And then I'll take 200. So now I've set these how I want. And I've gone through, I've selected the ones I want. This is saved. So now I can use it during my normal operation. So then I can just go ahead and click the power button off, and now it's ready to go. So if I press the power button back on, it says US, and now it's off. I can just press the frequency button, and now it starts. And now I'm able to scroll through the frequencies that I just selected. Okay, 5, 12, 1, 4, and so forth. So that's how you set and configure the transmitter to the frequencies that you want. All right, next we're going to configure the receiver. So to turn the receiver on, you just press the power button. Hold it down for a second. And now it's on. So on the receiver, this is what we have. Okay, you'll have down here what frequency you're in. You'll have over here what mode you're in, operating mode, peak, null, broad peak, and so forth. You'll have your intensity over here. You'll have your gain is this little dotted line on the inside, so you can increase your gain and you can decrease your gain using the increase and decrease buttons. Okay, and then you have your absolute intensity over here. For null, these arrows are going to be your null arrows if you're in a mode that includes null. Right now I am. So to cycle through my modes, I just press this mode button in the top right corner, right? So now I'm in null. Now I'm in sond mode, you can see. Now I'm in broad peak. Now I'm in peak. Now I'm in peak and null. And now I'm in null. So you can cycle through those as you like. In order to configure, you can hold the power button down for 3 seconds. Then you lift up, and it says Pro on the top. When it says Pro, that means you're in the configuration mode, in basically the settings. On the bottom, it gives you your functions you can adjust. And if you press frequency, it scrolls through the various functions you have. Okay, so we'll go back all the way through to the beginning. Power, and here's one, volume. So in order to change the volume, once you're on the setting you want to adjust, you press the up button to go into that setting, and now it's showing me it's on, volume is on, and I have intensity, volume intensity 2. If I press frequency, it'll change it to 3. Now it's off. Now it's 1, 2, 3, off. 1, 2, it's my choice. I'll keep it at 2. It's what I prefer. To get out of this setting, I just press back and I go into the main level of settings again. So now if I press frequency, I go to the next setting, the light, the units I'm in, right? So if I go in here, it shows me metric is off, right? If I press frequency, now metric is on. Now metric is off. I'll keep it off because I'm in the US. All right, if I keep scrolling through and back out with units, okay, orientation, current, you can go through all of the settings that you want. Do you want vibration on or off? Okay, some people prefer the vibration to be on instead of the volume. That's your choice. I press up, I go into the vibration setting, and frequency will allow me to change on and off vibration setting. I'll leave it off for now because I prefer to have the noise at volume 2. I'll scroll back, down, pressing the down button, I'm back in the main settings again. I'll press frequency to scroll through again, and I'll go to operating mode. So if I go operating mode and I press up, now I'm in operating mode, and it's letting me choose on and off what ones I want. That's wide peak, WPK. So if I scroll through them, okay, I can scroll through my options with the frequency button, right? So I'll go back to wide peak. If I want to turn wide peak off, I hold the frequency button down for 2 seconds and then let go. Now it's off. If I hold it down for 2 seconds and let it go, now it's back on. Okay, so for example, wide peak with null is off. I'm going to keep it off. Peak is on. I'm going to keep that on. Peak and null option, I'm going to keep on. I like to see both at the same time sometimes. Null option I'll keep on, right? But if I wanted to turn null off for some reason, I hold down frequency for 2 seconds, I press up, it's off. Hold it down again for 2 seconds, press up, now it's back on. So I can scroll through, right? So now, right, it's giving me my options, okay? Sound mode, it's on, and I'll keep it on. But that's how you do it. You scroll through. All right, I like what I have in here now. I'll go ahead and press back, down. I'm back in the main settings, and I can keep going through. All right, if I go to line, this is a critical one, I can choose the frequencies I want the receiver to have. So if I press up, now I have power 50 off. That's important because I'm in the US, so I would keep power 60 on. Power 60 is on. Yeah, keep going through. All right, cathodic protection is off for me. I'll leave that off for now. But now I get to my frequencies. 512 is on. 640 I turned off. If I want to turn 640 on, I didn't do it on the transmitter as you saw, but if I wanted to turn it on, I just hold down frequency for 2 seconds, let it up, now it's on. If I want to turn it off, I hold it down for 2 seconds, and now it's off. So I can keep scrolling through, make sure I have the frequencies that I set. 815 is on. I did not set 815 on my transmitter, so I'm going to turn this one off. I'll hold frequency down for 2 seconds, it's off, and now I'll keep scrolling through. 4 kilohertz is off, I want it on. Okay, 8 is on. 89 is off. 92 is off. 98 is off. 33 is on. 65 is off. 82 is on. 131 is on. 200 is on. So now a radio frequency for me is now off. I can turn that on if I want to. I'll go ahead and turn radio frequency on. Now it's on. Okay, so I can go through and I can configure this however I want. I have everything on that I want. I press back out. I'm back in settings, and I can keep going through, and now I'm back to the beginning. So now I'm done here. I just press the power button again, and it brings me back into my normal mode. So I'll frequency through, right? So now I'm at 4 kilohertz, 8, 33, 82. I can turn down my gains here, because it's getting pretty wacky over here. 200. Radio frequency is now on. Power mode 60 is on. 512, and so forth. Okay, so if I'm going to use power mode, for example, okay, I can walk over here. Okay, I can turn up. All right, and I can adjust this how I want. All right, so now all right, next, if we want to do a direct connection, right, or conductive mode, we would go ahead and we would place our ground rod in the ground. We're going to do it off of this trace wire that's connected to this gas line. Somebody decided to put a big, I don't know what the hell this is, cabinet over where we normally put our ground rod, but I'll have to find somewhere else to put it if I can. Or I might have to move their thing. So I moved their thing, and now you can see I got my ground rod in. I'm going to connect the black lead to my ground rod, as so. I'll go over here. I will connect my red lead alligator clamp to the metal part of the trace rod. Okay, I want to get a good connection on there. I don't want to put it on the plastic or it won't conduct through. I want it to be on the metal, okay, with a good connection to it to go through. Okay, next, all right, I'm going to turn this on. Okay, and we can choose what frequency we want. So now I can change frequencies. You know, as I like. All right, why don't we go to 512? All right, we'll go to 512. I'll come back over here and I'll pick up my receiver. All right, now I have my receiver in hand. I can cycle through frequencies till I get to 512. Okay, and I'm cycling through with the frequency button. I'm on peak as it is. And so what I can do now, I'll tone it down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Right, here's where I'm clamped on. All right, so I'll go through. I'm going to sweep around. Okay, to find this gas line over here. All right, so we're locating here in 512. All right, now it's off. You can see we're getting a clean peak right over where we are supposed to be. Okay, if you want to check, right, if the peak and the null at the same spot, right, then we can check and see here. Then when it peaks out, it's where my arrows change. So it looks like we're basically right on point. If I want to check in just null, I can see where it drops and then picks up again. Drops, picks up, drops, picks up, drops, picks up. Okay, so I'll flip back over to peak. Okay, and then we can just trace this out, and you can see there actually is a power run the same location, but gas comes all the way down. So now, as power goes off to there, we're still able to get our gas line. Okay. Still on it. Right there. That's off. Peaks. Peaks. All right, so it's still going. Okay. All right, so it's still going. And there's another meter over there. Now when you get on top of it, assuming you have a good peak and null consistency, and you have a round signal, it'll give you an estimated depth of it. Okay? So we go down, you'll see we have an automatic depth on it right here. Okay, so if I drop it down, it's showing you I've got 30 inches, 29 inches, 27, 28. So it's jumping around a little bit. In part, it's because we have this other line here. But overall, 27 to 30 inches. All right. Now we're getting pretty close, so you don't want to locate too close to your box. You'll get influence from the box. Okay. All right, so now we're past the box, which is back over there. Locating the other line up. I'm checking. I got a good peak right here. I'll go check again on null. Off. Drops all the way down. And back up. Drops all the way down. So I have good consistency. Down here it's saying it's about 33, 34 inches. Okay, and I can switch this back over to peak as well. So that is sort of the quick start guide tutorial for setting up the Rycom Snaptrack transmitter and receiver. You know, you got to press some buttons to get into the menu, but it's pretty easy. You flow through with the frequency button. You know, you go into each setting, you flow through those with the frequency button, and you can turn them on and off as to your liking. So I hope this was helpful. I know some people, you know, didn't have access to good training material for the Rycoms, but I hope this was helpful. I hope people enjoy using the Rycoms. I actually really enjoy it. It's one that I use pretty often. You know, this is one that we actually distribute and sell. We sell quite a few of them. We actually have the Rycoms for sale. We have Leica Geosystems Ultra systems for sale. We have rigid systems for sale. And we even have access to radio detection systems for sale. So if there's something that you need locating wise, whether it's a locator, a GPR, or traceable rod, please get with us. Go to bigmangeo.com. Sorry, I'm squinting. It's pretty bright out here. But go to bigmangeo.com, you know, shoot us an email or do a quote request, and we're happy to help you with anything you need. So hope this was helpful. Good luck out there. Talk to you soon.